Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are.
KK Crochet.
And today I'm not talking because this is something Kristen knows about and I do not. Well, I know enough to be dangerous, so Kristen's going to tell you about it.
Okay, so this is like how to use the Sentro, I guess is what you'd call it. Okay, so first off, do not give up on the first try. It takes lots of practice, a lot of practice with the Sentro to get it down, and I'm not even a professional at it. I would not say that at all.
I'm only laughing because I gave up and that's why she's saying that, and I do need to keep trying.
Okay, and next is to try different yarns because every Sentro is different. I found out with mine, it likes very, very, very thin, like 4 weights or lower. I've tried 4 weights several different times, does not work. I've tried cotton, does not really like certain cottons in my machine. So you just have to try different ones to see what one works with you.
And I think even if a ball band says it's a 4, that doesn't mean it's a 4. And a 4, let's say a 4 red heart, we all know is all different. But let's say you get a 4 that is a red heart, and we all know that different colorways or different thicknesses, even within the same yarn. I know red heart doesn't work in the Sentro for the most part, but I'm just saying.
Certain ones do that are not a true 4.
Yeah. So you can get a certain yarn, 2 of the same yarn, same company, 2 of the same yarns from the same company. I'm not saying that right. 2 different yarns from the same company in different colorways, and one might work and one might not, right?
Yeah. Okay, next is to watch a lot of video tutorials, or if you know somebody else who works with the Sentro and is good at it and knows what they're doing, you can talk to them. I found out how to do all of mine through videos. I learned how to cast on, cast off, like how to do the waist yarn, all that stuff through videos. And then I've helped Mom and other family members work through it.
She helped Mom because I cast on 5 times before I actually figured out I was doing it wrong. She wasn't home, and I had tried to do it, and every time I did it, the yarn fell off. I was putting it on wrong. It was comical.
Yeah. Okay, and now start simple. Like, I put start simple with a hat because that's what I started with. Because that's why I bought my Sentro, was to make hats. But if you're not ready for a hat, because it is like you have to cast it off and you have to do like sewing it up, start with just the tube. Or if you want to do the panel settings, start with just the panel. Like, just start with something that will get you used to the casting on, casting off.
So what would you do with the tube if you're not going to make a hat?
You could just do it for practice and then rip it out and do it again. You could do, roll it up into like a cowl. You could sew up both ends and make a scarf if you make it really long. Like, just start with something, like if you just want to practice over and over, do it, rip it out, do it again, just with a yarn you know you probably won't use.
Because there is an extra step to make the hat instead of just sewing off both ends, right?
Yeah, you have to like bring it up through the middle and sew it up. Because if you don't know how a Sentro hat works, you make a big long tube and then you scrunch up both ends and bring both scrunched up ends inside the hat and tie it off. So that's how you make the hat with the Sentro. There's more in-depth stuff, but I learned through videos, so. And the next, which I need to learn, is to take breaks, especially if you're working on a very long project with hundreds of rows. Your arms are going to get sore, like, very easily, because it takes, like, I think my brother counted 8 cranks to do 1 row. I think. I don't know if that math is right.
No wonder my arms hurt so bad.
It's a lot. And I've gotten it down where I can do it in 20 minutes, but that's with no break.
I'm determined to keep trying because I want to be able, I have a goal for BMO this year, for Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, which is our charity for hats, and I want to reach that goal, but I know to crochet them, I will never probably make that goal because I'm behind already, and that's a lot. The goal that I have in mind is a lot.
Yeah.
So I need to work on the Sentro some to add bulk to that.
And there's like a lot you can make. Which, like I said, the reason I bought mine was for hats because of the BMO that we do. Then I figured out you can make a scarf, which, I'm going to work on doing some of those. I made a blanket. I'm working on making another blanket on it. You can do amigurumi on like the smaller ones, which I'm sure you can do it on a bigger one too. There's tons of different things you can make.
Socks. I think there's one you can do socks on.
The smaller one, yeah.
Yeah. So, just some encouragement. Don't give up. I'm not giving up. So, let's just keep trying to see if we can make it through that Sentro, I don't know, what you call it, I don't know, that Sentro slump, I guess. I'm going to try to break through. To me, the most aggravating part is when it misses a stitch, and I don't know if it's me or the machine or the yarn, and I get aggravated, and then I keep seeing just that one little stitch in the hat, and it messes with my mind. And then also, when I work all that time to make the hat, and then I try to take it off, and it drops 5 or 6 stitches, and I have to rip the whole thing out because I don't have the knowledge to.
Which, for that, I've learned. I used to just take my needle to cast off on a Sentro for a hat. You literally just thread your yarn to the needle and go through each of the little pegs and get them off. I have to hold down the next one and do this so that doesn't happen. If you hold down the peg where the yarn's at and put your needle through, it won't rip all the stitches off the pegs at once.
Okay, let's be honest. I feel like in my mind I'm just thinking that's too much work.
Well, in my mind, that's saving me from doing extra work when all of them fall off.
You're right. That's a better way to look at it. But I'm just like, geez, okay, I got a lot to learn. So anyway, we just thought this would be a good thing this week to come and talk to you guys about, and for Kristen to give her input into it because she is the one that's better at it than I am, and she's, we're both still learning, but she's teaching me. So.
And if you want to talk about panels, I'm not your gal. Tried it one time, did not work. So I'm still learning about the panel. So if you use panels and know how to do it, put some tips in the comments for me to try, because I tried it once and it was a no-go.
So how are you doing a blanket if you're not using panels?
Okay, for a blanket, you work it like a hat. You put on for a hat you don't do waist yarn, but you put on your waist yarn, which is like 5 rows of just like a yarn that you don't really care about. You work up however many rows you need and do more waist yarn. And then you take a crochet hook and you sew up the ends, and then you sew up the panels together.
Oh, so you just make a big long tube and you put the tubes together.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I've seen a blanket she did like that. It's very pretty. I told her she needs to make me one. A big one. It's very pretty. But again, you have to find thin yarn and
Yeah,
okay.
that's difficult.
Okay. So those are her trips. Those are her trips to the Sentro. Those are her tips for the Sentro. If you have some, you can put them down below. Again, like she said, we're learning, but she's been doing it a lot longer than I have with much more success than I've had. So that's all we have for today. Don't forget to be kind because
You don't know anybody else's journey.
Bye.
Bye, guys.